Hi, how you doing? Does Facebook still ask you what's on your mind? Because for me, it's a lot. Anyway, when I was listening to the Fweny album by Costa Ojwang, Fweny's Revelations. Hey, not me now teaching you and translating for you, Luo here. No credits to me. It's literally on the album cover. It's been written Fweny Revelations. I thought Fweny was to discover or to find out. It's the same thing as to reveal, right? It's revelation. Anyway, Fweny Revelations by Costa Ojwang. Me, I've been listening to that album back to back like BBLs. I'm even waiting for my landlady to just write a notice and say, if you don't change your playlist, find somewhere else to live, because we're... Anyway, now I'm listening to this album, and while the rest of you have the privilege to rest because you're not wicked, me, my village mate said, I had no sleep, so I was thinking about random things. And one of the things that I thought about last night was this Fweny album by Costa Ojwang. Now, this is a brilliant body of work, and I love that other artists have been featured in this. I don't know whether it's feature or collab. I don't know those terms. I'm not in music like that. But anyway, this body of work has other artists who come on. Now, there's this technique that I was thinking about last night. Now, me, I don't know if this technique Costa Ojwang applied intentionally or it's just me overthinking. So do not come at me as if I know the answers. I was just thinking Costa Ojwang used a very interesting technique that I love, and thought was actually very brilliant, but I don't know if it is intentional. So the artists who get featured on this piece, in this body of work, are give the songs they're featured on really take up their signature. So like if Okelo Max is featured, when that song starts out, it starts out as a very Okelo Max signature song. Like I know like the Sero one, Nyakachieng. If you wake me up in the middle of the night and you ask me who is this before that song starts, I'll tell you that is Sero, that is Hulda Adhiambo Sero, I know. So it's as if these guest artists set the precedence for what this song will sound like. I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically that's what's happening. Like Costa is letting these guest artists create the sound for that song that they feature in, and so it sounds a lot like that artist's song. Anyway, this is why I'm calling it a technique, because to me, I feel like it was a technique for intercultural margins of different audiences. Like now, the Yaba audience. Kwanza for Yaba. I remember I was listening, I had put the playlist on, and then I was like, I don't remember putting Yaba on the playlist because I know that is Yaba. That song just starts like this. This is Yaba. This is Yaba. So I came and checked and I was like, oh, Yaba has done something with Costa. So that is how I found out different artists who've been featured. It starts out exactly like that artist's signature sound and then develops. Then you listen, as you continue to listen, then you hear Costa and you're like, oh, wait. That's not Okelo Works. Oh, wait, that's not Zero. Watenda Willy, which is the biggest song, Manyo Pesa, just checking from the streams on Spotify. Of course, it's the most popular song at the moment. It is a very Watenda Willy sound. When it's beginning, that's just Watenda Willy. You cannot doubt that that's Watenda Willy. So that technique, I don't know whether it's supposed to create that building of audiences. So our Wanjine, even Wanjine is on this one. Our Wanjine audience, the people who religiously listen to Wanjine and have never heard of Costa Ojwang. The people who religiously listen to Costa Ojwang have never heard of Wanjine. So these audiences will meet up on this piece of work. And I don't know if that was the intention, but all the same, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Now, I'm going to mention something else that I thought about last night when I was thinking about this particular technique. And there are two songs that I want to highlight for Sauti Sol. Now, don't go around here quoting me. I'm not a music guru. I just overthink at night when I have nothing else to do. So there are two songs that I thought about Sauti Sol that could have had an effect like this because of that sort of technique. Now, there's a song that featured Burna Boy. You got it all going on in your body. You got it all. You know that one, right? It featured Burna Boy, and on that song, Savara starts out the song, and it takes a very Sauti Sol sound. Like you can't tell, no one can tell that Burna Boy is going to get featured in this song, right? And that song was 6 years ago, and it has 7 million views on YouTube. I'm using views on YouTube. And because I felt like it's because it started with a very Sauti Sol sound. Now, compare that to another song, Melanin, which featured Pato Ranking. It starts off with a very strong Pato Ranking signature. It starts off, even the shout out that starts in the beginning of the song is very strong. Like, this is Pato Ranking, Sauti Sol, something of the sort. And then Pato Ranking is the one after they've sung, I think, the chorus or whatever. Pato Ranking is the one that starts off that song. So it's very easy for anyone anywhere to be like, oh, that's an Afrobeat song or that's Pato Ranking song. So that song, the Pato Ranking one, has 34 million views on YouTube, right? And I feel like maybe that's the difference. You don't quote me. I'm just here overthinking. I feel like maybe that's the difference because this Pato Ranking one started with a Pato Ranking sound. It gave an Afrobeat vibe, and therefore the Nigerians accepted this melanin song easier than they accepted the Burna Boy song, because the Burna Boy song didn't start off as something that is familiar to them. Now, where the Nigerian audience makes a difference, this is where I come in as an expert, because I work in the music industry and you don't. It's a game of numbers. It doesn't matter how beautiful art is. It's a game of numbers when it comes to, when we're looking at these numbers that we see come from Nigeria, from Kenya. Now, when we say it's a game of numbers, it's basically just population. In Kenya, if right now Costa Ojwang was to release a piece of music and it was put on low, make sure everyone streams this music. Everyone, even if you're 0 years in Kenya, make sure you're streaming this particular song. We'd get just about at least 50 million, not less than 50 million, right? 50 million views on YouTube, right? And then a song was released in Nigeria and it was low that everyone in Nigeria must stream that song. Nigeria is not going to get anything less than 200 million views. Why? Because their population is 200 million plus. Kenya, your population is 50 million plus. That is 4 times what we're looking at. So that is where the game of numbers comes in. And I was wondering if this technique was applied intentionally to give that margins of audience and to build the audiences across the different cultures, across the different artists, because I know that the artists have different sounds. There are people who've listened to Sero, they've never had Costa, right? And a Costa sound is very unique. It's giving Ohangla, it's giving, there's even a song that's just giving pure Jolejo. And I don't know, he's introduced a very unique sound into the scene. And I'll talk about that in another video. But right now, I just feel like there are people who are consistently and religiously listening to Costa Ojwang that now have been plugged onto other artists that they never had before. Maybe they're going to listen to Watenda Willie, now they're going to listen to Okello Max, now they have other artists. That intermargence of audiences, I don't know if that was what the technique was intended for, but anyway, that is how it works. And I'm giving the example of now the Nigerian audience. And while talking about Nigerian audience, now there's this thing that I just learned recently, because there were Nigerians over who we were working with, and we realized something. Nigerians do not know songs outside Nigeria. They might know a few here and there if they're really big hits. And it's also something that has happened with other people that I was talking to who are mostly South African. And we realized that Kenya might be, or maybe in the entire world, might be the only country that actually is very acceptable of other people's cultures and arts and music and whatever. We are the only ones who know what's happening everywhere else. I used to think of it as a bad thing, but now I just think of it as a strength. It's something that we can use, because I feel like Kenyans can easily just fit in, like in multiple or a varied space, because you know everything. You're always out here, you know. And people come on and they're like, "Oh, you know that song? Oh, you know that movie?" Yes, apparently Kenyans are the only ones who consume things outside their borders. Other people or other countries, yes, they might consume, but they consume their own first. So yeah, you can choose to view it in whatever way. But anyway, I was here to talk about that technique that I found very, very unique in this particular body of work. There's another technique that I do not know whether it's just me, but this one is even outside of this album. I realize sometimes the artist, a song starts and it immediately reminds me of another song. Because, like, let's say the Nyakachieng one, by the one that's featuring Sero, it started, and I could swear to you, that's Todi by Ojwang Tukutsi. But I do not know if the artist was sampling or intentionally got the inspo from that song. So I don't know the creative process. I'm just out here guessing, but I have a number of songs that start out and I'm just thinking immediately, oh, that song reminds me of another song. Anyway, I'm running out of time. I'll be right back. I'm back, and I was talking about that technique where I don't know whether it's inspo, I don't know whether it's sampling. I also do not know the creative process behind how the artists make this music. So I don't even know if the artists know that we as the audience, when we're listening, it reminds us of another song. Anyway, we'll do another video completely where I'll just list some of the songs that remind me of other songs, and then we can just have fun with it. But also right now, please note that even as I'm comparing these songs, especially Pato Ranking and Burna Boy, the songs that they had, the features that they had with Sauti Sol, I'm not saying that one project is inferior to another. I'm not saying that. And also you need to note that I do not have the inside scoop. I do not work behind the scenes. I do not know what machinery went into the different projects to give this one 7 million, to give this one 35 million. So me, I'm just coming out with my own random thoughts that I think about at night when my villagers are not resting. Okay. So do not be out here quoting me and being like, this worked because of this. No, you need to understand the machinery behind those different projects and why they came to be the way they came to be. And also something that I've just remembered when I was mentioning about other other countries consuming more of their content and not outside their borders so much. It is very evident when they come here for random things, whenever artists come here from outside, and in interviews they're being asked, so who's a Kenyan artist you're listening to? Who do you want to collab with? And let me tell you, these people can't even think Onyeshinsky. They can't even say calligraph. They don't know. Oh my goodness. But anyway, this is not a video to get mad. This is a happy video. We'll come back with another video for just anger. But today we are here to appreciate Costa Ojwang with his Fweny album. Brilliance. Brilliance. Pondi brilliance. Never seen anything like it. Costa Ojwang, if you ever come across this video, your work is good. Hey, my lord, your work is good. We'll do another video where we're just doing what that Costa Ojwang sound. Like, I feel everyone needs to listen to Costa. The way the way he managed to bring all these audiences together. There is the Luo audience, which is young, old. The John Jr. audience will come. The younger audience for Kilomax will come. And then there's the urban audience in Nairobi. Brilliance. I am saying brilliance. Me, I think Costa Ojwang is the best thing that has happened to Kenya this year. Changed my mind. And now that he's the second Luo man I approve of. Now there are two, him and Calligraph Jones. If you want Luo man slander, come on Tuesday. But today is a Sabbath day and we keep it holy. But anyway, yeah, I'm just here to appreciate Costa Ojwang and his album Fweny. And now even you who listens to Costa Ojwang and then you are plugged onto the other artists on this album. Aren't you glowing? Aren't you happier? Like, look at yourself now. You're a happier person. You're a more fulfilled person. You know better. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, all these artists featured in this album, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I hope you get to listen to them. Fweny album by Costa Ojwang, beautiful. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. Anyway, these are some of my random thoughts at night when my villagers are not resting. But we'll get to discuss more. But here's the thing. I know I've mentioned some big names. So if you want to mention me in rooms, in big rooms, if you want to mention me and give me accolades, please do. Say my name, say my name. But if you want to quote me in a controversy, I will ask you now to refrain, because what is that? Anyway, do not take what I say for a fact, because I'm just a baby.
You still had to say, okay, mom. I did you, baby.